Hey everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video is going to be a new Will I Buy It. I post my Will I Buy It videos every single Wednesday where I'm chatting about new makeup releases and launches, letting you know a little bit about them, and then also talking over if I'm planning to pick them up or pass over them. And as always, I have a lot to discuss this week, so why don't we go ahead and get started. Alright, first up, I have some new highlighters here from the brand Persona Cosmetics. So I'm reading from the Treadmid One Instagram, so I'll have her Instagram link down below like I normally do. I did see this morning I got an email from Ulta Beauty saying it was there was a bunch of platinum perks today, and I am a platinum member at Ulta. So I clicked on the email to see what all the perks were, and I saw this Persona highlight, and for whatever reason I was like, that looks like an interesting highlight. Like, it gave me the double take right away. So there's 3 different shades. They're $24 each, and they are permanent. If you're not familiar with Persona Cosmetics, it was started by a beauty blogger, Sonia, and I know that she released a eyeshadow palette, and that palette has gotten a ton of good reviews. A lot of people say really good things about it, so I personally have never tried Persona Cosmetics myself. I'm not super familiar with the creator of the brand, but I've gotten to kind of know the story a little bit more, and especially seeing how well the eyeshadow palette went over, it's definitely something, a brand that has caught my attention. Like I said, it was just in an email this morning, but for whatever reason, the highlights are something that kind of drew my attention. It's $24 for one highlight, which I do definitely feel like is expensive. You can find Persona Cosmetics at Ulta Beauty, of course, because I was saying the email came from Ulta Beauty. So that's a good thing because I prefer to order from like Ulta. I like getting rewards, like keeping up my platinum membership. I'm interested in the 3 shades. I think I would go for the middle shade, which I think is called Zuma. Don't quote me though, but that's the one that I feel like would work well for me. So I'm interested in this, and I'm kind of looking at it, but then at the same time, I'm looking at my highlight collection. I have plenty. I've just gotten several new highlights. I have a new highlight from Becca Cosmetics, newer to me, on my face today. So it's like, do I really need to spend $24 on another highlight? Probably not. So if I'm keeping more on my practical side, I'm gonna say that I'll probably end up passing over them. I know that Ulta 21 Days of Beauty is coming up, but I think, I don't know, $24 is a lot of money to spend on a highlight, and just knowing how well my highlight collection is, how stocked it is, and how many highlights that I love. Like, I'm trying to pan, or at least like make a tiny, the smallest of indentations on my Mary Luminizer for my 2018 Project Pan, and I feel like I use it every 5 days because there's always another highlighter in my collection that I'm interested in, or I'm wanting to try out, or I got a new highlight or something. So it's like, do I really need that? Probably not. So it caught my attention. I think they look really pretty. I'm definitely very intrigued by the brand, but practicality wise, I think I'm gonna go ahead and say that I'm not gonna pick this one up. But I would love to know, are you excited for this one? Are you planning on getting a highlight? Did you get the eyeshadow palette that seems like so many people really enjoy? I would love to know, but I'm gonna skip over the Persona highlighters. I sure did get quite a lot of tags on this release from Marc Jacobs Beauty. I really enjoy the Marc Jacobs makeup brand. I have a lot from the line and a lot that I really love. So I started getting tags on this coconut collection with rose gold details. It says it's limited edition, will be available April 24th on the website and online at Sephora, and then May 11th in stores. So there's a new eyeshadow palette, one of the iconic palettes, and it's $49. And I love the tones inside this one. I really do. I like the pinky tones. I like that there's a gold in there. I'm really into the pinks right now. So this palette has me doing a little bit of a side eye. But $49 for an eyeshadow palette. You get seven shades inside, and then there is a mirror with it. But like, this is another one that it's gonna like go on my wish list. And I don't know when the next VIB sale is coming up. I always kind of get them mixed up, but I know Ulta 21 Days of Beauty is coming, and I feel like a VIB sale usually is somewhere around the time of Ulta 21 Days of Beauty. What do you think? When is the next VIB sale coming? Like, I feel like I want it, and I want to try it, and I want those pinky tones, but at the same time, also looking at this palette, for some reason, looking at the swatches, I feel like the first palette that popped into my mind was the BH Cosmetics and Carly Bible palette, and I don't know if it's because I just wore that palette the other day, and I was also just talking about it in a March Madness video, but like a couple of these pink shades in there remind me of that palette. And then also I feel like I could very much easily dupe this one one with the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette as well. I mean, that one has 35 shades in there. It definitely has a lot of those pink tones in there, the peach tones in there, the gold in there. So it's like, do I really need to spend $49 on this one from Marc Jacobs? But I mean, I can't lie and say that I'm not interested and that it didn't make me do a double take, because it did, but I still think $49 for the 7-pan palette. I mean, Marc Jacobs is just, it's an expensive brand. It just is. It just is. But I don't know. What do you guys think about the eyeshadow palette? I think I'm going to stay strong and say no to it, but it definitely caught my attention. That one was a bit hard to talk myself out of, but you know, with the 2 palettes that I mentioned, maybe, I mean, I will be okay saying no to an eyeshadow palette, right? Like, I'll be okay. Also in the collection, there is new Dewdrops, the Coconut Gel Highlighter in Fantasy, which is $44. The Dewdrops I actually bought the last time they came out. I think this is a different shade is what I'm understanding, but I bought those. I want to say it was during a VIB sale, because I don't think I would have paid full price for it, and I like it, and I did wear it quite a bit in the summertime, I will say that, but I just don't reach for liquid highlights a ton, and I feel like that one definitely gets very much like neglected. That one's $44. I know that I would skip over that. And then there is the Omega Tan-Tastic Bronzer for $49. I'm getting that bronzer. Nobody tried to talk me out of this one. I wanted this bronzer so bad when this bronzer came out, and then I didn't get it, and I talked myself out of it, and I said, no girl, it's too expensive. You don't need that bronzer. And then everybody went on to love that bronzer, and I was like, I made a makeup mistake, okay? And I even put the bronzer in one of my regret videos, what would it be? The makeup I regret not buying, or whatever that one's called. I'll link my regret series down below. But I was like, man, I sat on that bronzer and I sat on that bronzer and I said no, and I said it was too expensive and I didn't do it. And then everybody went on to love that bronzer, and I was like, please come back. Please come back with that bronzer. So they are coming back, and this one, you guys, I want it, okay? If it's made it into my regret video and now it's coming back, I feel like I deserve that bronzer, okay? I said no the first time. I don't want to say no a second time. So that's what I think about the Marc Jacobs bronzer, okay? Who else talked themselves out of it and then went on to regret it because everybody said it was like a great bronzer? You know, not everybody, of course. Not everybody loves one thing, not everybody hates one thing, but I feel like it got really good reviews, and I still, like, I continually see people using this. I see it hanging around in declutters, even though it was limited edition. A lot of times you see limited edition items get decluttered. People are still keeping that bronzer. It's a big old bronzer. I don't think I'll ever get through it or hit pan or do anything on it, but it's one that I wanted for a really long time. So I think out of the collection, I definitely do want to get the bronzer, and you know, maybe that will help me too, saying no to the eyeshadow palette. Again, it caught my attention. I think it looks really pretty, but I can dupe it with others in my collection, and if I'm gonna purchase the bronzer, like, I would rather go that route. That's what I feel about the Marc Jacobs collection that is coming out. What do you guys think? Is there anything from here that you absolutely have to have? Can you say no to everything? And who else is getting that bronzer with me? Just let me know. I'm just curious. Just curious. So next up, I'm going to talk about Kylie Cosmetics. I don't normally touch on Kylie Cosmetics in my Will I Buy It videos, because I have said in past videos, Will I Buy It videos, when I used to do anti-haul videos, which has been a really long time since I've done one of those, but I've stated before in the past that I don't support Kylie Cosmetics and I don't buy from them. So after a while, it just seemed kind of pointless to be including items from a brand that I've been vocal about not supporting in my Will I Buy It videos. But it has been a very long time since I have talked about Kylie Cosmetics in a video. I know my channel has definitely grown since probably the last time that I included her brand in one of my videos. So I thought I could touch on it and give you some of my thoughts, because I definitely do see comments from people who are newer to my channel that are like, why don't you ever talk about anything that Kylie's putting out? Will you talk about Kylie Cosmetics in a Will I Buy It video? And I get tagged, and I got tagged a lot on her new collection, the Weather collection. So I thought that I could include it in a Will I Buy It video and maybe just kind of say my thoughts on the brand for those of you who might be newer around here and are not sure yet kind of where I stand. One thing that I will say about Kylie Cosmetics is that I have purchased from the brand in the past. I was pretty curious when the brand did come out, but I've had several issues, especially customer service wise, and it just kind of everything with that kind of turned me off from the brand, so that's why I decided not to be making purchases anymore. When I would have issues with like shipping or issues when I got my order and I would email customer service, you just got back a plain basic form email basically saying we don't care, so don't bother us again. And I just got really frustrated with that. You know, I was never the person who like stayed up late to try to get the collection or woke up really early to try to get releases. I don't really do that with any makeup, but it was always kind of frustrating just how like hectic and weird the releases were, which I mean, I don't think that's on Kylie necessarily, but it just was something that was like, it didn't make me even want to purchase from the brand because it was annoying trying to get items when you would deal with websites crashing and you're having to wait in line and then you get kicked out of line. It's like, where am I? I'm sitting at home. Why am I in a line? This is weird. So that was always frustrating. I kind of feel like things are pretty overpriced, and you know, I know it's because of her name and who she is, and that she can really put whatever price she wants on anything and people are still gonna buy it, and that I don't really love. But I also don't appreciate that you can't return items or exchange items and things like that to Kylie Cosmetics. I know not every country allows that, but in the USA, a lot of brands, a lot of companies do allow returns or exchanges, or just have at least somewhat better customer service. And I just feel like with Kylie Cosmetics, who she is, how much money she makes, how much money that freaking brand makes, you can have better customer service than that. And there's been a lot of issues I've seen in the past with items that came out that like had issues wrong with them and things like that, and people would speak about them, and it's just like, she don't care. Like, I don't know, I've always just kind of gotten this impression from Kylie Jenner that she just don't care. And that's me. Like, if you think a different way and you think something else, that's totally fine. Like, I generally don't care if people want to support brands or people or whoever and buy things that I wouldn't buy. Like, it's your money and you get to do what you want to do. I don't care. I gave Kylie Cosmetics a chance. I've purchased from her in the past and just I haven't had good experiences. So instead of supporting that, I want to support brands that I do believe in. I want to support indie brands that I think work really hard, and that's kind of just where I would prefer to spend my money. But of course, it's my money, so I get to choose how I want to spend it, same way you get to choose how you want to spend your money. And I would hope that you're spending your money on brands that you want to support and buying items that you really want, because that just makes sense to me. But that's kind of what I think about Kylie Cosmetics, and really my opinion hasn't changed. I'll never say never, because I don't know. There might be a time where maybe she comes out with something that I'm like, you know what? I just really absolutely have to have that, maybe. Or maybe I'll see something that I'm like, you know what? I'm starting to warm back up to Kylie Jenner. That might happen as well. But as of right now, just that's kind of where I stand with Kylie Jenner and Kylie Cosmetics. But the weather collection was inspired by her daughter Stormi. So Kylie recently had a baby girl, and I guess this is the collection that she was working on while she was pregnant. So the theme is, it's called the Weather Collection, and the theme is very like thunderstorms, lightning, and you know, I'm assuming because it all goes along with the name Stormi. I think it's cute to name something after her daughter, and I don't know, to have that be symbolic. I think that's pretty cool. So that's kind of the idea behind the name, which I think that's interesting. Like, some of her collections haven't really even really caught my attention, just like either packaging wise or just like concept theme wise. And I feel like this one actually, like, I think it looks cool. I like the packaging. I like a lot of the yellow on there. I'm really into yellow at this moment for whatever reason that might be. So I think that the packaging is really cool and stuff, but I definitely feel like it's probably geared towards pretty like specific looks or like a specific trend type of thing. The collection, I mean I've already said that I wouldn't be purchasing. I don't support the brand, but there's 3 lipsticks for $18 each. There's the glitter eye duos that are $40. There's eyeshadow palettes that are each $40. There's Eye of the Storm and Calm Before the Storm. There's also a highlighter palette, which is $44. There's a loose highlighting powder for $14. There's a flash gloss for $16 and a yellow cream gel liner for $14. Or you can buy the entire bundle for $280 if you so prefer. And I know some people do prefer that. I did check the Kylie Cosmetics website before I sat down to film, and not everything is sold out, but the majority of the items were sold out. I can still link the website down below in case anybody is interested. But I mean, I'm not going to go through each item because it's just not something that I'm into at this moment. Again, maybe someday there will be, but I did want to address it because I've just seen I saw a lot of tags on this collection, and I've seen a lot of people ask, like, why don't you talk about specific brands? A lot of times it's because I've talked about them in the past and I've mentioned them several times and mentioned it, you know, that I don't support or I don't buy for this reason or that reason. And then to me, it's just kind of like, why just keep talking about it? There's other brands and other releases I would rather talk about, but because I saw all the questions and tags, I just thought I would address it in here. So you can leave me some comments below if you want, but again, everybody's different. Everybody reacts to someone else differently, and at the end of the day, we're choosing what we're going to spend our money on makeup wise, and I would never tell someone how I think that you should spend your money, because I think that's none of my business. That's not what the Will I Buy It's are for. The Will I Buy It's are for me to talk about will I buy it and to talk about new releases and my thoughts on them. They're not to tell anybody else, I think you should buy this, I don't think you should buy that. But those are just kind of my thoughts on Kylie Cosmetics in general, but let us know what you think about the Weather collection. So next up, we have a new release and a new brand from Tati Westbrook, or Glam Life Guru here on YouTube. So Tati is a very well-known beauty influencer, and she has recently launched her own brand, and the first product that is coming out with her brand's name is Halo Beauty, and the first item that she is releasing is the Halo Beauty HSN Booster, or Hair, Skin, Nail Booster. So it says it's an intensely nourishing booster for the hair, skin, and nails. It's $39.95. You take 2 capsules a day. You will see results in 3 weeks. I'm sure you guys already know all about this. So I don't think I've ever been asked more to talk about a product than I have these supplements from Tati. And honestly, I kind of had seen that she was coming out with her own brand, which it seems like every influencer is coming out with their own brand recently, so I really didn't think too much of it. And then all of a sudden, I was getting bombarded on every single platform of, what do you think about Tati's vitamins? And I'm like, what do you mean, what do I think of Tati's vitamins? What are you talking about? And I should say that I don't actually follow Tati myself. I typically do not watch her videos. I did in the past, like, I don't even know how long ago it was. It was probably a while ago. I watched a few of her videos. I think I had heard someone like recommend her or something like that. So I watched a couple of the videos, and it's nothing against Tati personally. I don't dislike her. I don't hate her or anything like that. I just didn't really get like a, you know, like a vibe. And that's okay. I mean, I know not everybody will vibe with my personality. I don't vibe with some really big YouTubers that other people do. Even in our group of friendship that we have in real life, I don't vibe with someone who my best friend really enjoys, and vice versa. I mean, it is what it is. So I just don't really watch her videos. That's why I wasn't really paying too much attention when I saw that her brand was coming out, because I was like, yeah. I mean, I'll look at it and I'll see what it is, and maybe I'll be interested in it. But because she's not someone who like I follow and absolutely love, a lot of times when some of my favorite influencers do collabs or they have something exciting going out, like I was watching Katie on E the other day, I was so excited. You know, I get excited for certain things like that, but this one I was just kind of like, okay. And then when I saw that she was coming out with vitamins, I was like, well, I'm not buying those, because I don't really take vitamins. I don't really take supplements. That's just not something that is in my routine. So I just kind of like washed right over it. But then, like I said, so many people are asking me about it, and they keep asking me about it. So I'm like, okay, like I can talk about it in a Will I Buy It video, but I don't know how exciting I'm going to be because I don't follow Tati or feel a certain connection with her type of thing. That kind of has me not really wanting to buy them. But then, like I said, the biggest reason is that I don't take vitamins or supplements. Every once in a while, I'll remember to take a multivitamin, and that's few and far between. I'm just not a supplement person. It's just, I don't know if I want to say I don't believe in them, but I just don't think that they're necessary to me at this moment. Sometimes if I'm having issues with like iron deficiency, which sometimes I can, if I go to the doctor and they tell me that my iron levels are really low, I'll pick up an iron vitamin and things like that. But other than that, I feel like I do a pretty good job with like my diet and things like that, that I feel like I can get that without having to take a supplement. I'm not really big on taking really any sort of pills, even if I'm sick or whatever. It's just not my thing. It's just not what I'm into. But again, this is such a personal thing that I feel like it's really hard to talk about because you're gonna offend some. I've already offended 50 of you guys. I mean, let's be serious. I've already been offending people, and it's been really ugly to see the community kind of react to these vitamins, and it's been really sad, and it makes it hard to talk about. And I feel like I've kind of been like kind of dreading filming this Will I Buy It video because I know that I'm just waiting for the comments to come in about what a terrible person I am and, you know, all these different things. But especially when you talk about vitamins or supplements, that's a very personal thing in nature. That's not just saying, hey, let's put a pair of false lashes on you, or that lipstick color looks great on you. I feel like there's really a lot more when it comes to something like this product that has to be very personal to someone buying them. I feel like you definitely need to do your research before you buy them and before you start taking them. Don't just listen to me. Don't just listen to the next YouTuber. Don't just listen to Tati. You have to do your own research. You have to look at the clinical studies and the feedback that has come in, and I would say research the ingredients. I've started to research the ingredients, but this isn't something that I want to buy for myself. I don't have an interest in this, and I don't want to recommend or not recommend a vitamin because I don't feel educated enough to do that. I don't feel like I have a background to do that. I don't feel like I'm warranted to do something like that. So I don't really want to get into all those aspects. I'm sure there's plenty of other people out there that are going to be doing it. I know Jen Loves Reviews, who has fantastic reviews. She gets really in depth on a lot of those things. I'll look for it. I'll watch her review, but for me, it's just, that's just something that's not a part of my life. Another thing for me is that I did watch Tati's announcement video because once I realized I should put this in a Will I Buy It video, I did go on and watch her announcement video, and the announcement video left me feeling very, very strange. I am not really down when someone calls a pill or a supplement magic. That was such a red flag to me. That was such a red flag to me. And I really feel like if I had been considering these for whatever reason, you know, I don't know, somewhat interested in them, and then I heard someone say, but these are a magic pill. To me, that's a no. To me, that's so... To me, that's just not okay to say something like that. And I mean, I was watching her video, and that's really cool what she's doing. Like, let's not get away from that. I feel like any of these influencers who are creating their brands, anybody who creates a brand, anybody who does something like this, there's definitely a lot of time, money, energy, effort put into it, and that can't be taken away. I'm sure that Tati did her research. I'm sure that she hired great people. I don't want to take any of that part away from them. But her launch video just had me so very skeptical, and it had me really sad. By the time I watched the video, she had already had to disable the comments because there was so much negativity. And I don't know what the negativity was for sure because I haven't watched the video yet, I haven't seen the comments. But it was hard hearing her say, like, it's clinically proven, but then there was nothing there. And I think she's now gone on to have that, and there's information on the website, but to launch a product and to have all of these claims, but to have nowhere to back them up on, and no photos and no studies or trials or anything, it was very confusing to me as a consumer to watch that. And I can understand where people's frustrations would have been. I think there probably could have been a better way to do that launch video and to have some of those pertinent details in there than to have like a wedding video in there, because I didn't quite, that's not selling me on a product. I don't know, it was very conflicting and very confusing watching that, but there was just too many red flags for me. To say something is magic, it just worries me because I've tried supplements before. Like I got sucked into like that hair vitamin or whatever, and I ordered it off of Octoly once, and I tried them and nothing happened. And you know, I mean, it's going to vary from company to company and ingredients and all of that, but like I've tried these things in the past and nothing actually works for me. It's important to note that it's very rare that one pill is going to be magic to everybody who buys it because we're all different. Our genetics and our health and our needs and everything is so very different. So to call something that you are selling magic, I think is strange to me, and I didn't enjoy that. I will say that I did like how in the video Tati talked about beauty from the inside, which I think is cool, and I like that message. But at the same time, with the vitamins, it's promoting like the hair, skin, and nails, and those those are all things on the outside as well. So then I wasn't really quite sure I was understanding what was coming from there. And I think the problem with vitamins is that you see a lot of like the hair vitamins. Like I said, I got sucked into them because I would see so many people promoting them. I ordered them off Octoly. You know, you see the hair vitamins, you see like the skinny vitamins, and it kind of goes along with like the teas and the wraps and all of that. And it's just kind of, you kind of almost do get that scam mentality, which is sad. So I mean, it was a really interesting route to take versus doing something makeup or skincare. But I don't know, I feel like maybe that's where people are coming from, because when I saw vitamins, honestly my first thought was kind of like, oh good, another vitamin that's promising I'm going to be beautiful. Like, I don't know, that's just kind of what I thought. So I mean, I'm sure that she uses that, like, you know, like she said that she used them and she used them on and off so she could see the results. But I don't, sometimes it's also hard, especially, I know that YouTubers are not necessarily like traditional celebrities, but a lot of big time YouTubers have a lot of money and they have a lot of other things at their disposal. And I'm not saying that Tati does, because I don't know her. Like I said, I don't watch her videos, but there's also a lot of other outside factors that can deal with your hair, skin, and nails. I know since I started drinking at least 8 glasses of water a day, my skin has looked really phenomenal. That was one of my like New Year's resolutions, was to drink as much water as I can. And when I drink all of those glasses of water, I have noticed a difference not only with the skin on my face, I've noticed a difference in my body as well. So I don't know. I feel like sometimes promoting something like this can have backlash, and I feel like Tati had to have known that when she decided that this was going to be the product that she came out. But I can understand why people are skeptical, because I'm skeptical myself. I'm pretty much skeptical of all of those types of products. I just don't believe that there's that quick fix that, you know, just this vitamin is going to make you beautiful from the inside out. I feel like there's a lot of other factors that have to go into that. I watched Nikki Murphy's video just this morning, her chat spat on it, and she brought up a mob mentality, and I thought that that was exactly true, because how I have felt when people have been asking me to do this Will I Buy It video, I feel like people want to see like a drama channel style video where I'm just like slamming her, and I've been seeing a lot of people saying like she's running a scam and all these things. I truly don't feel like she would be running a scam with this, because she has so many subscribers and so much of a reputation. To throw it all away over like scam vitamins, I think would be very strange, and I genuinely can't see that happening. That would just be weird to me. But it has been very sad, and I feel like I'm going to disappoint people because I'm not mad enough, and I'm not cussing and swearing and saying all these negative things. But at the same time, I'm not impressed with how her initial video came out and some of the things that she's said and things that I've seen. It doesn't do anything for me. And again, if I would have been like on the fence, maybe thinking about buying this, I think that I honestly would have talked myself out of it, because it just is kind of one of those things that's like, it feels like that like too good to be true type of thing. And I don't know, it just, something about it left me with kind of an icky feeling. I think that she has a lot of balls to do a supplement, because I think, you know, people were probably expecting makeup or skincare. I think skincare is what a lot of people really expect it from her. So I think that was a pretty ballsy move to do supplements. And I mean, I kind of mean that in a good way. Like, nobody saw that coming. I think there's a lot of shock in that, and it's definitely got people talking. But there's also, like I said, there had to have been a ton of research and time and money and effort and hiring the right people to get these vitamins like able to be sold and able to come to fruition and whatnot. Like, that's a pretty big thing to take on for your first launch. So I mean, I feel like there's definitely some kudos there. And I don't know if people are just mad because they wanted an eyeshadow palette, or I don't know. But there's been so much anger around this release that it honestly has made me super nervous to film this video. And I feel like I'm gonna get rambly in this section because I don't know. But regardless, the Will I Buy It videos are for me to talk about a product and if I'm gonna purchase them and my thought process in purchasing them. Bottom line, what it comes down to with Halo Beauty and these vitamins, supplements, boosters, whatever you want to call them, is that I don't feel a kinship with Tati, so I automatically don't feel that kind of like when I have a kinship with someone, I automatically do a double take on no matter what it is they're doing or coming out with or whatever. I will always do that double take because I feel that like friendship, connection, loyalty there for whatever reason, and I'm sure a lot of you understand what it is that I'm saying. So I didn't feel that right away. Couple that with the fact that I do not take vitamins myself, I do not take supplements, that this is something that does not interest me and not something that I would take, I would not buy them. I definitely do think they are expensive. I've bought biotin in the past because people have said that's good for your hair and nails. Again, I didn't feel like I really saw anything, so I kind of tapered off with them, and I can't remember the last time I've purchased biotin, but I know I could get it for a lot cheaper at drugstores. I know that Tati also made a lot of mentions in her video that how much money that they've put into it, which was also something that kind of like irked at me, how many times she brought up how much money she's put into these. Like, I don't know, that's wonderful and great, but it still is pretty pricey, and especially when she's saying that you're supposed to take 2 a day. It's like, okay, you're gonna go through that bottle pretty quickly then. But couple it with that, that's not part of my lifestyle, is taking a vitamin or supplement, and again, that's me personally. I'm not saying that you shouldn't if you do, because that's very much a personal thing. But for me, I do not, so it wouldn't make sense for me to purchase this. I mean, congrats to Tati. That's a huge move to come out with your own brand. It's a huge move to come out with the product. That's really cool. I don't love the way that she went about it. I think that there was a more professional way maybe to put out a brand release announcement like that. I'll definitely be curious to hear people's reviews who do have it. Maybe this is magic in a jar and I just am a skeptic, I don't know. But I just think maybe there was a better way to go about it. But those are kind of my thoughts. Like I said, I feel like a lot of people are expecting me to be super dramatic and like cussing and just like saying the worst things about people, but that's just not who I am. If you haven't gotten that vibe from my channel yet, I don't know what to do, but that's just not really who I am. I try to see both sides of the spectrum, but for me, it's not something that interests me, and it just kind of left me with a bad taste in my mouth watching her first video. So that's kind of my thoughts on it. You can leave your thoughts down below. Please just, keep it kind in the comments, especially to other commenters. I know a lot of people have a lot of emotions about this, and for whatever reason, I simply don't have a lot of emotion about it because it's just not something I'm interested in. I really was just gonna pass right over it and brush right over it, but I think with so much drama that got started with it, it just kind of kept increasing the amount of tags and the amount of questions that I was getting on this. So that's my 14 cents on Tati's vitamins and what I think. I'll be passing over them, but did you buy them? And you guys will have to let us know if you did purchase them, what you think, and if you've seen any improvements. But yeah, other than that, that's gonna do it for this week's Will I Buy It video. Guys, that is everything for this week's Will I Buy It video. As always, I hope you found this video helpful or entertaining in some way. Leave your comments down below on everything that I mentioned. I'll be very interested to read some of these comments this week. And as always, let me know what you want to see featured in next week's Will I Buy It video. And of course, if you guys did enjoy this one, I hope that you'll give it a thumbs up. I hope that you'll also consider subscribing before you go. And I'll catch you guys in tomorrow's video.